Good afternoon. Welcome to Vibin with Ashley Live. I'm your host, Ashley Live. Thank you guys for joining me on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's absolutely gorgeous here in New York. There are no clouds in the sky and the sun is out, so it's going to be a really great weekend so far. And I'm excited for today's show. We have singer, songwriter, and 2020 San Diego music artist. I'm sorry, I messed that up. I'm going to start from the beginning. Singer, songwriter, and 2020's San Diego Music Awards Artist of the Year, Rebecca Jade. And I'm really excited to bring her in the room. I also wanted to share a song lyric with you guys as well from Jamiroquai, Use the Force, 1996. Oh, this world is mine for all of time. I can turn any stone, call any place my home. I can do anything. And I think it's really important at a time like this where you can really dig deep within yourself and you can do anything that you put your mind to, even though we're in this crazy global pandemic. So thank you guys for joining us this evening. And Rebecca should be joining us very shortly. Hello. Thank you guys for joining us this afternoon. Hello, hello. Lots of people coming into this room. Rebecca will be here momentarily. Hello. Hi, everybody. How's your weekend going so far? There she is. Okay. Okay, she's coming in the room shortly.
Yay!
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. And thank you for joining us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon.
My pleasure. My pleasure. What a way to start the weekend. So I'm honored to be on your vibing with you.
I was just introducing you to the people that are already in the room. I'm just going to go over it one more time for people that just joined. Singer, songwriter, and 2020's San Diego Music Awards Artist of the Year, Rebecca Jade. Give it up. Give it up,
Yay!
guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So Rebecca, you're based in San Diego, grew up in a musical household, and your mom is a singer. What age were you when you first got into music?
Oh man. I think my mom has a picture. I know there's a picture somewhere. I'll have to see if she can find it. Where I'm like 5 and I have a microphone in my hand. I'm like singing a solo at like 5.
It's adorable. Do you remember what song you were singing?
No, not at all. But it was like a preschool or whatever school program, something like that. I'll have to ask her about that because I know she has the picture. I've seen it. So I'd have to ask her about that one.
Awesome. And what's some advice that your mother gave you regarding to music?
Well, one of the things she didn't like give me, I wouldn't say like specific advice that I can recall other than always being encouraging. She's always like, keep going, and she would share with me about, because she used to be a professional singer in Puerto Rico when I was little, and so she really led more by example for me, and she never forced me into anything. That's what I really appreciate about her. And funny enough, I ended up just following almost exactly in her footsteps, because she just really led by example.
Yeah.
She still sings now and sings in choirs and churches, and we get to sing together sometimes as well. And so she's just been really encouraging, and just her main thing was just follow your dreams, whatever those are. If you want to be an accountant, follow that dream. If you want to be a singer, follow that dream. So that's really what she's always encouraged me to do.
That's amazing. And you're so fortunate to grow up in a household where music was so prominent, because I talk to some people and they're just like, no, we never listened to music growing up. And I'm like, I don't come from a musical family per se, but we love music and we
Yeah.
always growing up. So to have your mom be a singer is so incredible because you see her and then it just kind of like you gravitate towards that and you're like, hey, this is
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's exactly what it was. And her father was also a singer, and she was in a group with her dad and her brother, who they were a singing trio. And I also I had to be reminded, but I'm also musical on my father's side as well. His mom, my grandmother, used to play piano and accordion, and they also were both artists. My grandfather would paint, and my grandmother would paint as well. So I'm just so grateful to come from musical and artistic elements on both sides of my family.
yeah, that's incredible.
Very grateful.
How would you describe the music that you create?
That's a good question because I've been so fortunate to work with some amazing groups. I have, gosh, 4 full-length albums and an EP out, and a lot of those have been with groups. I've collaborated with other people, and they've been wonderful. Those projects. The first one is we like to call it's called the Jade Element, and we loved calling it like. What did I call it? A trip hop. It had like a trip hop neo soul vibe to it.
Cool.
The second and fourth project is with the original project called Rebecca Jade and the Cold Fact, and that is like we like to call it like a vintage soul psychedelic funk vibe to that, and then. My third album was actually covers. It's all I wanted a jazz album. I got to work with a wonderful local San Diego based incredible virtuoso guitarist Peter Sprague, and we created a jazz album, all Cole Porter songs. And so that's been wonderful because I love jazz. Jazz was a really strong part of my foundation, thanks to my mom. And then the EP was with when I was signed with a local record label called Pacific Records. We did an EP, and that's got more of it. It was like an R&B with a little bit of a kind of a hip hop vibe to it, a little bit. I worked with my friend Jazz Williams on that, and so they were all like kind of collaborations with other people, and they've been just wonderful. And I'm just kind of finding my way, and I'm currently working on my first solo record, really, of like writing myself and figuring out who I am as just myself, and I have a really good friend of mine, Carnell Harrell, who's been just amazing, and he's helping me get these ideas down on paper, get the music behind it. He's a great producer, incredible piano player, arranger. So we've been collaborating on that project together, and so it's been really interesting and really fun to sort that out. And so it's seeming like, it's my long-winded way of answering, it's seeming like this new record is a little bit more of the kind of the jazzy R&B neo soul element is where it's end up looking like it's going that way.
Now, do you have a release date for that, or is that something that you're still working on?
Not yet, still working on it, but we're getting really close. We have about 8 songs done. And I think I want to aim for 10, and I don't know, I just like round numbers, so I think we're aiming for 10, and we're just gonna see. It's really unprecedented where we're at right now. I don't know what it looks like releasing music during a pandemic, but we're gonna do it anyway, and figure it out. But yeah, so we're really, really excited about it. I think we're really close. I want to say probably the start of the year is what we'll probably look at. So that's where we're heading.
Wonderful. Walk us through your creative process when you write music.
It's really random. I wish I had, and I'm aiming towards that, to where it's like because this is kind of a new world for me as a songwriter. I don't have a pattern just yet. I don't have a thing that I go to just yet. I kind of just get these random inspirations, and I'll write down a phrase or something, and then like one of the songs I wrote was literally was inspired. A group of us kind of came up with this vibe, and the track was sent to me, and I just felt the vibe, and I was able to write that song in like one night, like 4 hours. I was like, it was done. I was like, wow, I've never really done that before, you know? And then other times it takes weeks and maybe months, or there's some that I've written down ideas, like half ideas, and that's been from a couple of years ago, you know? It's really random, you know. I don't have yet a set thing because I don't consider myself, I do consider myself a songwriter, but I don't have a process just yet, you know, so I'm working on that.
Don't worry. Sometimes you can get inspiration from anything. Like you can look
anything.
Hear something, see something, turn on the news and see something, and you're like, oh, there it is.
Yep. That's exactly what's happened. I've written, I think I wrote, I heard a phrase one time and I just wrote it down, and I was like, I don't know why, but I like that, you know? So you kind of you can get inspiration from anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who would you most like to collaborate with?
Oh, you know, there's a couple. I mean, there's some, of course, classics, like just people who have laid the foundation of a lot of music, and they're just incredible. I mean, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire, or something, you know, like that. Those are like the epitome to me of like just classic, great, incredible music, and I'd be honored, and just it'd be amazing to work with them on something. Other folks would be like, there's some other maybe lesser known, but they're just incredible singers. I love like Emily King. I think she's from out there from New York, actually. And she'd be great. I know there's a bunch of other artists. There's just so many incredible artists out there that you know, they each just really bring their own vibe. And so yeah, I'd be open to any of that. Yeah.
She's open. So if you want to collab with Rebecca, reach out to her. She's so Stevie, EWF, reach out to her. Oh my God.
Right.
So amazing to see you work with those legendary performers.
Oh, thank you. That'd be awesome.
Right? What are your favorite songs to sing?
Gosh, you know, it's really hard to answer that question also, because I don't really have favorites. I don't really have favorites of too many things. Yeah. And music is included, because there's so many. I grew up listening to so many different styles. Jazz was a really powerful influence for me in the beginning. So I love lots of like classic jazz tunes. The very thought of you is like one of my favorites. And then I just also, you know, I love R&B and soul music. Erykah Badu was a big influence for me right when she came out, because there's really nobody like her at the time when she first kind of came out. Yeah. So I love that, just like grooving, you know, music. Next Lifetime was one of my favorites to sing. Yeah. I love, like, geez, any song from Stevie Wonder. It's like, it's really hard to pick, because there's so many great songs out there, and they're just some of them are just so descriptive. I guess I tend to lean towards like mid-tempo and kind of ballady songs, because there's just something about the way they emote, you know, a certain emotion. Right.
What artists or genres have you been listening to during 2020 and during this pandemic?
I've been really listening to a lot of Emily King. I really like this a band called Lake Street Dive. They've been incredible. I found them on a Spotify playlist, and I was like, who is this band? And I've listened to all their records. They've been really wonderful. So Lake Street Dive, Emily King, Leon LaHavis, I really like her. I need to get back to him. I loved the whole Raphael Sadiq had an album that I really liked. I was just talking about that record with a friend recently, like yesterday. So I want to revisit that one, actually. And then, but mostly lately it's been Emily, it's been Leon LaHavis, and Lake Street Dive.
Amazing. So Lake Street Dive, did they come up in your Discover Weekly playlist? Like, how on Spotify did you kind of hear about
I found them. I wanted to find, it was I'm trying to blank on what to call it, but it's kind of the Amy Winehouse throwback,
Okay.
you know, kind of vibe. And so I did a search for, like, I don't remember what I did. It was like I was trying to find a playlist that was like a search, you know. I was like, give me vintage soul, vintage, I forget what I typed in. And it gave me a bunch of like that, just, like I said, that Amy Winehouse, Raphael Sadiq, Lady Ray. There's a couple other artists also. There's a bunch of artists on that playlist, but and that's how I found them. That's how I found Lake Street Dive was on. They had like 2 songs on this particular playlist.
I'm definitely gonna check them out because I love Spotify. I love Discover Weekly, and I love all this named. And I'm always looking. That's why I say, like, who do you listen to in 2020? Because who you listened to 5 years ago is probably going to be totally different now.
Oh, yeah.
Extra time on our hands, and like we get all of this music, and it's just so cool, like going back 10-15 years and being like, I loved Erykah Badu, but who is kind of like Erykah Badu and who's doing something like her in the past 5 years,
right, totally. So yeah, it's fun. It's been fun to kind of explore different, you know, and that's, I'm trying to take advantage of that. What's been different, honestly, I haven't been able, prior to COVID, hadn't really listened to a lot of different new artists because I'd be working on something or preparing for a gig, and or a show, and I really have to, like, my range is limited, you know. And so with us not really doing shows like we used to, I've had more time to kind of explore a new artist. So that's been really nice. It's been really nice. Yeah.
Cool. Sheila E is an icon, and you've been touring with her for quite a few years now. Share what's your favorite story on tour and what Sheila taught you.
Oh my goodness. My favorite story on tour and what she's taught me. I mean, gosh, there's been so many wonderful experiences with her. I got to think of one particular. I don't know. One of my favorite memories actually was Sheila, Lynn, who's the other singer. She had Rhonda Smith happen to be subbing on bass, and me, and we were in New York City, and we went to see Lisa Fisher perform at the Blue Note, and just, that was just a special moment. It was just like, there's, you know, like, we have a night before our show. What are we going to do? Oh, Lisa's performing. Let's go there. And it was just a beautiful moment for all 4 of us to just hang. 4 women supporting another woman who's an incredible artist.
Right.
We got to see her afterward, and I got to meet her. I hadn't met her before. And of course, her and Sheila go way back. And it was just a beautiful, I feel like a bonding moment, between, like, the 4 of us, you know, four ladies. And as far as what I learned from her, it's like a constant lesson. Every show, I mean, is every time we're together, or, you know, on the road or something, it's been a constant learning lesson. I watch how she just is, and her dedication to her craft, her determination, her just good spirit, and just, she's a hard-working woman, and an incredible artist, you know. And so, like, every show to me is like, it's like a lesson, you know. I'm just sitting on this, I'm in the show, and yet I'm trying to, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm in the show, and yet I also take the perspective as an audience member, in a way, because I'm just blown away by her stage performance, her energy, and God, I want to be like her when I grow up. So.
Yeah, I've seen Sheila twice when you guys were in New York. You did Syracuse, New York. You did the Chevy Court New York State Fair. I saw that show.
Yeah.
And you did a show in Flushing at Flushing Meadow Park. And
that's right.
Style was on before you guys. And I was like, whoa, like, I felt like I was at church. Like, your energy, and then everything that Sheila was saying, and just, it was genuine and heartfelt and love. And it's just like if you have not been to a Sheila E show, it's honestly life changing because you're
Yeah,
just immersed into the experience that she brings to her audience. So
yeah.
to really live that every night and all the times that you guys perform has been
Hmm.
so magical.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's been incredible, and just the it's cool to see the level of people, like just the different vibe that goes around in that, and with that level of just musicianship, um and because of Sheila, I actually got to meet Earth, Wind and Fire. We opened for them one year, and it was literally, we did a show, we did our set, and then they did the set, and it was just like hit after hit after hit. I mean, it was just the level of like amazingness, and to be affiliated with that is like, I'm super grateful and humbled, like every day, very
Was
grateful.
that at the Hollywood Bowl?
No, we were in Atlanta. Yeah,
Okay.
we did a show in Atlanta. It was Sheila E and Earth, Wind and Fire.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So how did you get started with Sheila? Like, how did you become her backup singer? Walk us through that.
Yeah, I met her. I was part of the I met her first on the Smooth Jazz Cruise. I
Mhm.
was part of the party band, and she was one of the headliners. And we just met. It was nothing, it was just first brand new introduction. I met her and Lynn Mabry,
Mhm.
and then like 2 weeks later, and that was my very first cruise ever. So I'd never done any of the themed cruises before. And then 2 weeks later, I did my very first Dave Koz cruise,
Mhm.
and I was in the party band for that as well. And she was headlining on that one as well. So I got to meet her twice in the span of literally like 3 weeks, one
Wow.
week, and then 2 weeks passed, and then I met her, we crossed paths again, her and Lynn. And then a year passes, and then I see them again, Dave Koz Cruise 2017. And she was the headliner again, and her and Lynn, and we're there, and I see them, in the before we take off, and all the artists get to hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I get to see her again. I was like, oh gosh, good to see you again. It's been a year. And then about halfway through that cruise, she came up to me. She's like, hey, there's a couple shows that Lynn can't do, and a couple shows my other singer can't do. And I wanted to see if you'd be up for, filling in those dates. It was 4 dates. And so I was like, yeah, yes, absolutely. So they sent me the dates. I learned the show, and then her other singer is actually Ashlyn Cole. She was touring with Larry Graham at the time, and then he had a tour that came up, and so she'd been touring with Larry for forever. And so since I'd already known the show and started, was covering for her, and they just started sending me all the rest of the dates, and I've been with her ever since.
That's incredible that not only did you meet her that one time, but then the second time, and then it's like you keep running into her, so it kind of just all magically came together. And she's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
wow, like if you're free, like you should, be a backup
yeah,
singer."
yeah,
That's so incredible how that relationship started, and you're
yeah,
still to this day. So you've
yeah.
toured extensively, like overseas, all over the states. What are your favorite venues or cities to perform at?
With Sheila has been the most I've ever traveled. That with around, especially around the U.S. Um, doing it's been cool with the Dave Koz cruises. We travel and do more of like the overseas destinations, and that's been amazing too. So it's been really hard because there are so many beautiful cities and towns here in the U.S. and of course all over the world. But I've never traveled so much in my life, in these last 3 years, of course, asterisk COVID time, but, but it's really hard because there are so many beautiful cities around town and beautiful venues.
Mhm.
Um, I can't even think of any that, I mean, there were all so many. And then there's also a lot sometimes that we would be, you know, we would be traveling so much in the span of, a few weeks, and there'd be so many so many different venues. So it's kind of hard to, you know, to pinpoint any of them specifically, but there were just so many. There were many more good than and incredible venues than not. I don't know. Yeah, they've really taken good care of us.
But you've toured so much, it's kind of like I don't know which one was there and
yeah,
which city.
Yeah, it's so true. Seriously, I mean, sometimes because some of them would be back to backs, you know, of one place we would be in Pennsylvania or something, and then the next day we'd be in Florida. You know, sometimes it's a little crazy, but
you were on Let's Go Crazy, the salute to Prince. Take us back to that night and what it meant to you.
Oh my gosh, that was really an incredible experience. To be part of that, to help, you know, to honor Prince in such a way, and with Sheila and, you know, their wonderful relationship and history that they had together. And it was just so beautiful to be a part of that, to be able to honor him and to be able to help honor him with all the other amazing artists that were, you know, were featured on that, like John Legend and Gary Clark Jr. and her. I mean, just to be able to, and Earth, Wind and Fire again, and just like there was such an amazing array of artists that were there to help remind people, you know, of the incredible music that his catalog is just, it leaves me speechless, because you really just, I mean, it was incredible. So yeah, just to be a part of that was really wonderful, and also to see, that was another really cool learning experience with Sheila, because she was a, you know, co-musical director for that show. So to see her working with all the different artists and how to help shape this show was really incredible to see that part as well. It was incredible.
See her and she's like, do this, do that. No, it doesn't sound like that. Like, was kind of, you know, steering the ship with everything, and it was just so beautiful. And yeah, when you see the tribute to Prince, it's just like, oh, and then you see someone else cover a song, like you see John Legend, you see Earth, Wind and Fire, and
right,
you know,
Miguel was there. He did it. It was just great. Everybody's interpretations of you know, of Prince's songs were just really incredible, and to be able to sing behind all of those artists was, you know, really a dream come true. So
of course, yeah. During quarantine, you started your own concert series, Homemade. Yeah. What advice do you have for musicians during this stressful and crazy time that we're in?
You know, I would just say, find a way, whatever that is, for you to still remain creative, to remain connected to your audience, your fans, your people that love you and that you love. I think it's just really important, because not only, you know, not a lot of people are out going to be able to, you know, I just had a cool little Zoom chat. I do most Friday nights. I get to tune in with some, it's a Zoom hang with some other singers. And we just talked about it last night, you know, and it was just like, in a way, it's our way of contributing to stay connected with people, to contribute the arts to people in this way, even though it's not traditional, and it's really weird also at times to watch a show on your phone, but you know, but
so
yeah, you know, so but I say stay encouraged and do that, and in a way it really kind of helps you to just not be, also in many ways, not lose touch, not lose sight of what you're doing. And, you know, imagine if I didn't sing for 7 months, like vocally, you know, it just kind of keeps you also on your end, like you're not going to get rusty. You want to, you know, does that make sense? You know, you just want to just stay into so many pluses of trying to just, you know. So for me, that was a way of doing that, was to do the live streams. I know that's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to do that. But for me, that was my way of staying connected with people, providing something for them to maybe look forward to, hopefully. And my thing is always to try to take people's requests. I try to my guitar player John,
Yeah.
and we try to prepare songs that people want to hear, or new songs that I have coming out that haven't been released yet, but we're going to be doing, we'll perform those so people can get a sneak peek, so to speak, of brand new music that I've been working on, or, so just my way of trying to stay connected. That's what's working for me, and so it's been really wonderful. And also learning really the technology side about it too. So we're really not just performing, we're really producing our show ourselves in a way. It's really, it's a strange time, but it keeps the brain also, trying to keep things firing,
Important to stay creative and relevant, because like you said, like I know some musicians, they literally haven't done anything since March. And when you go on their Instagram page, it's like, what happened? Where'd he go?
Yeah.
And so I love that you've just you've just taken this thing all your own, and you're like, I'm going to do my own shows, and I'm going to do covers, going to collab with people. I think that's so important. And like, there's people in this chat that are like, oh my gosh, I love that she's doing it. And I love it too. Top of my feed. And I'm like, cause you just did a show last night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, we're on different coasts, but I'm like, oh my gosh, but if she was here, I would be going to that show. And so, like, oh my gosh, like I might not be in the same, state as you or in the same time zone, but I still know like, oh, your live stream's coming up. Oh, I request a song or ask you a question. I think that's really important, because fans are like, oh yeah, like I can look forward to this. Like this is something I can actually like donate to and look forward to. And I think that's real. And I applaud you for doing that, because, it's something as music fans that we want to look forward to as well.
That makes me happy to hear. And that's really a big part of why we do it, because we know that some people may not have that musical outlet. And it's different, because it's different that you can always, of course, play Spotify or something. You can always play a playlist, but there's something about having some sort of live element, even though we're through our computers or phones. There's still a live element to what we do. It's a live show. Right. It's just, through your phone. So yeah. So we're just, we're figuring out our way. We're all figuring this out together.
Right.
And that's the other element too, to keep in mind. So,
yeah. So if you could change anything about the music industry, what would it be?
I would say maybe somehow, some people make it accessible, but somehow it's like how to get everybody's music out there, maybe even more. Like it's really hard for, I think, musicians and artists to get noticed, and especially now it's really hard, because there's it's like you can almost be inundated. But maybe, I don't know, that maybe there's a way that, I don't know if there's a secret that people, that some people know and others don't. I don't know. Maybe it would be that. But there are also so many talented people, so I guess you kind of can't have everybody be out there. I don't know what I would change. I think it's just always a learning curve, and the music industry seems to be always fluctuating too. So it's just a matter of kind of going with the flow, and gosh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely an ever-changing industry. And then when everything happened several months ago, and music was the one that got hit the hardest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, every industry and everybody in this chat, we all have gone through some crazy things these past several months. But you think of like as a musician, like, okay, what now?
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a very strange time for artists, and we have to kind of force ourselves to either find another way of being creative, or somehow, we also have to still make a living, and whatever that is for you, and look, and no judgments at all. So we're all trying to just make ends meet, and and survive this together. So
how can fans show you support during this time? Like, what can we do as fans, and, you know, just speaking to your audience, like, what can we do?
Wow. Supporting the music is always much appreciated. I know that like the Cold Fact albums are on theredwoodsmusic.com. That's the label that the band is on. And also it's all on Spotify and Apple, all the streaming services. I mean, I had a friend recently, kind of, if he's on here, Joshua Taylor, he scolded me for not being on oh geez, I don't even know the name of it. He scolded me for not being on, what's
Twitch?
that one? No, what's the one that you can like pay a monthly thing to help support an artist?
Oh,
I'm drawing a blank.
oh, is it Patreon?
Patreon, yeah. He got mad at me for not being on Patreon. I was like, dang it, okay, I'm sorry, you know. So like, you know, because I know that's a way that people can like kind of financially support artists. So, you know, I guess just like tuning into the excuse me, live streams. I'm doing another one on Halloween Day. Actually, I'm going to do another one Halloween Day at 1 o'clock on Pacific time, and like tuning into that, donating if you feel so inspired. Like says no pressure to do that. You know, the music is for the listeners. But if you feel so inspired, you know, I put like my donation links on there to support that. Other than that, I don't know, just being in tune and following what's kind of coming up. Like I said, I have the new record that I'm really focusing on finishing that, and just people, just knowing that people are hopefully receptive and responsive to what we have coming out, what music is kind of coming out is really, really all I can ask for personally.
So please support Rebecca. If you're in here, please donate. Please tune into the live stream Halloween Day, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and show some love. Like, what else are we doing in our houses, right?
Right.
We're all sitting in our houses. So look to and donate, because now we save a lot of money by not going to shows. As you know, fans, like I saved so much.
Yeah.
So definitely show some love for Rebecca. What song do you wish you wrote, and why?
There's a song by you know, Billie Holiday was one of my earlier so with her, she had a great song. She had a lot of great songs. God Bless a Child was one. I'm drawing a blank on the title. I'm thinking of the song that there was something about her voice that just really evoked a certain energy that I really was drawn to. Whitney Houston was actually another one of my favorite artists. And she sang a bunch of really great songs. I'm drawing a I'm just drawing a blank. She sang a really pretty song. Stevie, he did a song that I love, and it's called Moon Blue. Mm-hmm. That's actually a great song. I wish I would have sang that. I would have wrote that one. Mm-hmm. That would be a great song. I just love his voicings and his chord choices, and the melody is just hauntingly beautiful. Yeah, that's probably that's my long-winded answer, because I couldn't
Oh, several, but
yeah. Billie was a strong influence for her. I just can't think of her song. Whitney, but Moon Blue, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the best advice that you've ever been given?
Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up.
Ooh,
that is a quote by Thomas Edison, actually, and that's been one that's helped me continue to just push forward. There's been times where I'm like, what am I doing? And is this for me? And I don't, what, and I go, no, there's a driving purpose within me that won't let me stop, and a lot of times I've leaned on that quote. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. So I don't want to give up, and that's helped me to really keep going.
Don't give up. You're so close. Like, always so close. Like, we think it's so far, but like, you're so much far.
Thank you. That's what I believe. I'm hoping and believing, and yeah, we just got to keep pushing forward, whatever that is for you, for each person.
Definitely. So this is the time where you can plug everything, your Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Where can people find you and everything you're up to?
My website, it connects all my social media. So if you want one place to find all three, the three main ones is RebeccaJade.com. My social media is all the same as well. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, which I hardly use. All those are Lady Rebecca Jade. So I try to keep it super simple and hopefully really easy to remember. And also, the only thing that's different is YouTube, and it's just youtube.com/Rebecca Jade. And other than that, I'm working on doing a lot more videos really soon as well. So I ask people to follow me to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I want to get have people connect on that route as soon as possible. That way I can get some more music videos out soon. And also, yeah, that's the best way, I think. All those are my social media outlets.
Wonderful. Stay tuned. Rebecca has a lot coming. Coming. Stay tuned to her journey. So
sorry, I forgot to mention, I just released a music video with Jason Mraz and Veronica May and Mickey Vale, and it's a song called Bad Wolves, and that just released this week. Mm-hmm. And I've posted it on all my social media, and it's also on my bio here on Instagram. But I really encourage people to check that out. It's a very socially conscious song, and just really a call to action for people to band together. So it's called Bad Wolves. So please check it out.
Bad Wolves. Check it out. Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your music. So this is the point of the show where you are going to perform for us. But I just want to let everybody in the chat know, if you have questions for Rebecca, put them in the chat and we will get to them after she's done with her performance. So take it away.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a song for you. This is going to be one of my new songs on the new record that I have coming out. So it's not out yet. Hope you enjoy. Oh yeah. I know sometimes it's hard to recognize your power when all the world seems to be bringing you down. You want to hide behind the comforts of a lie to ease the pain of not believing you deserve the crown. Don't let no one take away your place in the sun. Don't let no one win your race. No, only just begun. Oh, you can fight or you can hide, run away or take it in stride. Yeah, what's it gonna be? You might lose or you might win, as long as you stand strong till the very end. Yeah, what's it gonna be? Life has a way of seeming impossible. We keep holding on. Nothing today can keep you from a better tomorrow, unless you let it. Don't let it. Come on. Don't let no one take away your place in the sun. No, don't let no one win your race. No, no, you've only just begun. Oh, you can fight or you can hide, run away or take it in stride. Yeah, what's it gonna be? Said you might lose or you might win, as long as you stand strong till the very end. Yeah, what's it gonna be? See it through. Just do it for you. Oh, see it through. Oh, just do it for you. Yay! You can fight or you can hide, run away or take it in stride. Yeah, tell me what's it gonna be? You might lose or you might win, as long as you stand strong till the very end. Yeah, tell me what's it gonna be? You can fight or you can hide, run away or take it in stride. Yeah, tell me what's it gonna be? Said you might lose or you might win, as long as you stand strong till the very end. Yeah, tell me what's it gonna be? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tell me what's it gonna be? Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, what's it gonna be?
Hey, give it up. The chat was blowing up. And what's that one called?
What's it gonna be? That's what it's gonna call. That's what it's called. And that was like, you know, really kind of tying in on my the quote that I love, that I, you know, just trying to encourage people to stay the course. You know, you might lose, you might win, but you won't know unless you keep going. You know, you'll definitely lose if you don't try. So I just try to encourage people to really just keep at it.
I love it. Keep pushing.
Yep, exactly. And then I wanted to do one for you from my original project with Rebecca Jade and the Cold Fact. This album has won, or this band, we for our first record, we earned some San Diego Music Awards, and this one as well. We've been getting some love on this one. So we hope you like it. This one's called Miss You. It's been a moment since I've been myself, and at our worst you made me someone else. I think about it time and time again, and would it make sense if I called you friend? And why? Because I miss you. We try, because I miss you. Thought I saw you in a passing car. Close my eyes, I wonder where you are. Every love will have to face a loss, and Only time will tell you what it costs and why. Because I miss you, we try. Because I miss you. Oh yeah, I need your love, but you couldn't spare enough, no. Oh yeah, I need your, but you couldn't answer the call, no. No. And did we let enough time pass us by? 'Cause I thought I saw love in your eyes. It's just confusion underneath moonlight, an illusion at the edge of night. And why? Because I miss you, we try. Because I miss you, in spite of all we've done wrong, my love, it's taken too long. Oh yes, I need your love, but you couldn't spare enough, no. Oh yes, I need your, but you couldn't answer the call, no.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a Colfax song, and talking about writing, like Alfred Howard is the lyricist for that whole band, and he is definitely an inspiration because he writes so beautifully. He can write at a drop of a hat. He's just one of those people. Right now he's working on a 100 song catalog.
Wow.
And he's been just, I mean, to have that kind of ability is really something special to me, in my opinion, because that's something I aspired. I wish I could just write like that, and I know I could if I, but you know, some people are just gifted like that, and he's really, really gifted. And so but that's Alfred Howard that writes it.
Thank you so much. It was a beautiful song. So we have a few moments for questions. So if you have any questions for Rebecca, please put them in the chat.
Uh-oh. That's good. Do you see them and ask?
Huh?
Do you see them and then ask me, or? Yeah, okay.
So somebody wants you to come to Europe again when COVID is over. I'm not sure. Where in Europe are you?
You know, that's what Teresa, yeah, in
where is she?
In the Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Yeah.
Netherlands. So please, if you don't already, please follow Rebecca and her journey. Please follow me. I do this show all the time, and I showcase amazing musicians like Rebecca. We have a lot more to come. And yeah, any last minute questions?
Well, either way, I'm so grateful to be on here. And Ashley, you've been wonderful and super fun to chat with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know you're busy. You're doing all this other stuff. You're doing live streams. You're collaborating. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. So I'm so happy. Of
course.
Some time, and you're also doing in-person gigs. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy she was able to fit me in.
Yeah, no, it's been really cool. And of course, I appreciate the invite, and yeah, it's been really crazy that, you know, we've started doing a couple local outside only, for, you know, gigs, you know, where there's a lot of space and air and stuff like that. So that's been slowly starting to pick up, and so I'm very grateful for that.
So other than the live stream on Halloween, what else is coming up in the next month to look forward to?
Yeah, I have a couple, the live stream. I have a couple more local shows in November and December, and really just trying to push this new record. That's going to be my main goal. I'm going to be recording on some stuff. I did a song. I'm going to be working on a song with another singer named Selena Albright. I'm going to do a song with her. Just some recording stuff. Trying to focus more on that, really a lot more as well. So, yeah.
Do you play any instruments?
Oh, so sort of. That's a good question. So I grew up not really. I take that back. When I was a kid, my parents tried to get me to take piano lessons. I took piano lessons for 3 years. I fought it a lot, but it was really because I was an artist, but I did music and sang in choirs and was in plays, but I also was very much an athlete, as I played sports, and so I fought it all the time growing up. Once I got older, I really wish I had that foundation. So I'm like kicking myself that I didn't stick with it, but that's okay. It's all, our journey is our journey. But so recently, probably actually about 8 years ago, a friend of mine, local bass player, incredible bass player, his name's Michael Kennedy. He gifted me with a bass for my birthday. Amazing. And so he gifted that to me, and it's also because I would always go in between between bass, and I'm like, I should play piano, and I love the drums. I have a drum set, you can see it right here. And I just kept going back and forth, and there's my keyboard piano, and there's some timbales right there. I just love music, and so I had always been kind of involved in them all, but none of them really stuck because I don't know, it didn't click. And finally, probably about 2 years ago, bass started clicking for me. So I've been forcing myself, this earring, sorry. I've been forcing myself to play bass on my local gigs. So my guitar player and me, I've been playing bass, and so I'm singing and playing bass, and that's been really fun, and I've been exploring that a lot more. So still very beginner, but you have to start somewhere, right?
Someone gave you a bass, it's just like, okay, well, like, now I'm just gonna start playing.
Yeah. So it's been fun. Like I said, I sat on it for like 6 years. I didn't really touch it, and then finally I was just like, you know what? What's this? Oh my gosh! Oh, this! And then I started like with one song at a gig, and then two, and then the gig last night I played the whole night. So I've been getting to a point where I'm playing like full 2-3 hour sets. So it's been wonderful.
Okay. Have you picked up any COVID hobbies?
COVID hobbies. That's a good question. It's been learning, just learning things, learning how to record from home. So I don't know if I would call that a hobby per se, but basically working on a new, that's just basically, to me, evolving my craft, the overall craft of musicianship and singing. So I've learned, I had a friend of mine, Raymond McKinley, he's actually the bass player for Sheila. He helped me set up my vocal studio here at home. So I've been learning that, and that's been amazing to do that. And also like just playing around with stuff. I have my let me see if I can show you. I have like my little, I'm trying to build up my like, I've done some acting things, and so I've been set up. I set up like a little backdrop, and so I'm like learning video stuff and audio stuff. So I don't know if that's quite a hobby, but it's just another element of my musical craft in a way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Rebecca, that's all the time that we have. It's about to cut us off.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining me, being a guest on my show. Such a great interview. And like I said, if you don't follow Rebecca already, please follow her. She has that live stream coming up on Halloween, and the album is coming out very soon. Very soon. Very, very soon. So follow me, please. And thank you all so much. And Ashley, thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great weekend, and we will look forward to following your journey. I look forward to it. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.